So, if you've been living under a rock lately, this new manga type series just recently dropped a short, and it's called Junichiro Jackson. I'm pretty sure I literally butchered that name, but it's called JJ for short. So it's basically from this French animation studio called Teamto. I've never really heard of them, so I just recently just seen this on a recommendation page. So they're pretty much behind the Angelo Rules, Jade Armor, and the Creature Cases, and PJ Masks. I'm not really familiar with those series, but that's who they or those are the series they're pretty much have worked on. So basically, this series is about a guy named JJ who's pretty much like a lone wolf, private investigator. He's a young dude, like around 26, and he's pretty much on the search for missing people at night, and he cares for his mother by day, and he's got like a little companion with him and whatnot. But I really want to talk about this because this is something that I feel like is really good for the black community, because this is like the type of representation that we have been asking for, and this is something that Hollywood has refused to, try to put out. So I don't know if anyone has heard of the recent news, but Wonder Man had got canceled, and Blade has been in development for 7 years, to the point where Mahershala Ali kind of spoke on it, and I think he's kind of done with it. And it's just like when it comes like to black representation in movies and TV shows, it's been looking pretty just not so well. And that's why on this channel, like with my series, Craig McDonald, I've been trying really hard to come out on the original series. But I also wanted to talk about this because this honestly caught my eye, and it looks really interesting, and I honestly hope it eventually becomes an actual series, because I think right now this is currently a Kickstarter, and I'll leave the link on the bottom so y'all can check it out and support it. But I think right now it is going to be a manga, and then eventually it'll become a series. And what's even more interesting about this, I believe the guy who was a producer, I forgot his name, but I'll probably pull a picture of him on here. But the guy who worked on Boondocks and the last OG and what's it called, the Black Dynamite, I believe he's gonna be a part of this. But yeah, so basically like this series is kind of like a mixture of like, it's like anime, hip hop, neo noir, and stuff like that. So I mean, it looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of like something that I could see on Adult Swim or maybe HBO Max, which honestly, if this does take off, hopefully. But yeah, that's all I pretty much wanted to talk about. I'm sorry it was all over the place. I don't know, I just like wanted to talk about it real quick. But anyways, I'll catch y'all guys later.